A prepaid collect call from an incarcerated individual at New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1. To refuse charges, press 2. If you would like to permanently block your number for thank you for using Securus, you may start the conversation now.
Yeah. Free the guys, free the bros, free the men. We took a loss when they took you in that pen. I'm on call till they put you in the wind. Then we gon' ball, I'ma put us in the wins. Free the guys, free the bros, free the men. We took a loss when they took you in that pen. I'm on call till they put you in the wind. And then we gon' ball, I'ma put us in the wins. Yeah. They go county, they go state, they go fed. They go to trial with all that time over their head. And your honor got no honor, he wants you dead. And your right hand wants your side of the bed. It's a mess, I'm trying to tell you how real that it gets. Tell you how hard it hurts when you get hit. Peace and love, man. It's the New Religion Network, TNR. Know what I mean? BONDSSIMMONS, I'm here. I'm really excited. We got a great new show, FREETHEMEN, incarcerated interviews. We got a dope interview today. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all know what we doing. I'm not going to hold y'all up too longer. I want to introduce y'all to this man. Our time is limited, so we're going to get right into it. Peace, brother. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, how you doing out there in the world? Greetings and salutations. My name is Jamel X, GREENHAVEN Correctional Facility.
Okay, and you say you in GREENHAVEN Correctional Facility. Where's that located?
This is in Stormville, New York, out of New York State.
Oh, okay. And how far is that from the city?
This is about an hour and 45 minutes from New York City.
Okay. All right, and that's where you're from, I suppose, New York.
Yes, I'm from the borough of Queens. I'm from New York City. I'm from Queens, New York, Rockaway.
Okay. All right, so can you tell us how long have you been incarcerated?
I've been incarcerated 19 years now. I came in when I was 24. I'm 44 now.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we'll start off by, can you tell us a little bit about the actual facility that you're in? Describe it to us.
Yes, thank you. Great question. I'm in a facility which is a Max A facility. Guys that got natural life, football numbers, which we call. It's the highest Max facility in New York State. They have a wall around it instead of a fence because you have mediums and minimums.
Okay,
so I'm working my way. Yeah.
So I mean, I know already, but just explain to the people, like, so what you said, Max A. Like, is there different categories, or what do you mean by Max A?
Yes, it's different categories. You have minimum status, which would be the lowest offense, probably be like a FG classification. Then you got your mediums, which would be like, CD. You know what I mean? Then you get your Max B's from when you come from a Max A, when you're working your way down to the medium. So you got different levels of your time. It depends on how much time you got left for parole. Okay. Okay. So if you got a certain amount of time, then you're the max. So if you got like more than 7 years or more, you go to a Max B automatically. If you got more than 15, you go to a Max A. Yes.
And that's just like the I guess the lockdown of the facility and stuff like that. So what is it? You got like cells, or is it dorms? How is it?
Well, we got cells here. Cells is like similar to when you would see a dog in a kennel. Like if you go to a shelter, similar to that way. Cell not too big. You got a sink and a toilet connected together. You have a bed on the side and one locker. So you drink the same water that comes from the toilet bowl. It just refurnishes the cell. That's so it's the same pipeline. Inhumane condition.
Strategy. Wow. So what about I guess like the staff and like, what is it, a warden and like the guards? Like, how do they treat y'all with respect, or is they abusing people? Like, how's it?
Great question. Yes, they have a lot of issues, dealing with, because 95% of the population is African American or Latino, and 100% of the guards is white Caucasian. So it's always going to be issues amongst them. But men respect men. If you carry yourself like a man, they're going to treat you like a man. Running around here like a little boy, they're going to treat you like a boy. If you get some of them that come here with their supremacy views, they penalize others for minor mistakes.
Right. Okay. So all right now. So what's your day-to-day routine? Like what time you get up? Like what's your job function and like what do you I guess what does your day look like?
Well, I get up in the morning at 4:30. I do the water on my company. I'm in B block, which is one company. I get them up. They open 5 cents. The officer come wake me up, tell me your water time. I'm a mess hall worker, so after I give the guys that work in the mess hall water, they let me out and I go. I make toast for the brothers in population. Make at least 10,000 pieces of toast every other morning. So I want the brothers to feel good when they get up. You know, at least they can have that to resonate with them a little bit to the street. At least they get some good toast knowing if I'm working. You know? So I take pride in doing my job.
Dope. Yeah, that's dope, man. Okay, so how many? I guess 10,000 pieces. How many inmates is in that facility? Is it large?
Yeah, you had 2,400 inmates here, but since Corona started, they've been sending guys to mediums and trying to spread everybody out so that the Delta and the coronavirus, the pandemic won't really tear us up like that. So what they did was they shipped a lot of guys out, so we down to about 1,800 now.
Okay. Okay, so all right, switch gears a little bit. You said you was working in the mess hall, so can you tell us, I guess, before incarceration, what was your favorite food to eat? Like what did you really like to eat?
Great question, man. Chicken parmesan is my favorite meal of all time. That's what I love.
Okay. God, I like chicken. All right, so okay, now obviously being in jail, sometimes I've seen some things and even experienced, sometimes people make some crazy recipes, things you may not even thought about, or mixing things together you may have never did at home. Like I know y'all hook some things up. I done seen some brothers bake some cheesecakes on the stovetop with a can. Like, so like the question is, what's your favorite jail recipe, or like what's your favorite thing to, concoct, I guess, with the ingredients you have? It's dope.
Great question. I'm gonna give you a simple one. I just we jazzed up the crackhead soup. You take the octopus, the calamares, and you turn the soup into spaghetti. Add a lot of seasoning in it, sazon and everything, and then you whip it up and you turn it into a gumbo. That'll hold you all day. It's a cheap meal, So crackhead soups, which would be oodles and noodle soup, jazzed up with seafood and seasoning and stuff like that. That's a weird jail meal. That holds you down like still.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, all right, I guess I'll get into the sentence a little bit, right? I want to know, as far as without specifically getting into the crime, like I guess first I would say, do you feel that your sentence was just, or like do you feel like I did something and I got caught, I got to pay for what I did, or do you feel like you was a victim of the system, and you know what I mean? Do you feel like you got a fair shot in court, or So.
Great question, my brother. I feel like today I felt different when I first came in,
right?
Because I was still ignorant at that time. I was unconscious, but today I look at it like, yo, man, I was the guy that was out there committing crimes. What about all the stuff I got away with? I had an opportunity to do the right thing, chose to do the wrong thing. I went to prison before this bit, so I knew what I was getting into. I knew what I was doing on the street. So I say, I feel like it was the best thing that happened to me because I turned prison into a university. So today, the only thing it does is it hurts me because it took me away from my loved ones and my family. But the best thing it did for me and my brother, it woke me up. So I'm very happy and elated individual. Now I don't hold anything against this.
Okay. Okay, so one more question. Well, not one more, but another question. Next question. What would you say, right, was the biggest, I guess, adjustment that you had to make by coming to prison? Like, I mean, you know, because I think it's different for a lot of people. Like some people, you know, would say, "Oh, being away from my wife or something, or being away from, you know, business or not." You know, like, what was the one thing that you said, like, adjusting without this is like, or adjusting to this, you know, aspect of it was the biggest?
Thank you. That was a beautiful question, man. I'm gonna be honest as possible. Um, the best thing I had to adjust with in prison, one thing I would say is a decent exposure. As far as when I go see my loved ones or I go on a transfer, I had to adjust to this. That I have to pull my clothes down. I have to squat or show the police my aims.
Right.
I had to adjust to that.
Yeah, that's might never be able to adjust to that fully. I mean, that's crazy.
And I'm just being honest. So I'll go to the visit, and somebody I know, she might want to show me some love and bring me something. You know, back in them days when I was unconscious, and I had to go use the bathroom and get it out and play in feces, you know, to get it out. You know, so that's one thing I had to adjust to in my life that I would never think about in the street or anybody that's out there in the street would think about doing anything in that fashion.
That was real. That was rough and real, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you, man.
Okay, so what would you say, right? Same kind of question, but a little different. What would you say is the biggest contribution to you being incarcerated? Like, do you think it was one major thing that affected this, you know, that put you on this path, or do you think it was a few little things that got you on this path? Like, what's the biggest contribution?
My biggest contribution to lead me to prison or me being in prison, I answer both of them in that form and fashion.
Right.
Biggest contribution was me being a follower and not being a leader. That's what led me to prison. Doing all the wrong things and not the right thing. I was doing more wrong than right. And I was doing a little right. The biggest contribution I did while I was in prison, it was I educated myself. I learned how to deal with humanity. I learned how to deal with compassion. You know, so that's the contribution that prison showed me. You know, that's the contribution prison showed me by me being here.
Right. Okay. Okay, now with this one, right? If you could have a conversation with you maybe one day or 1 week just right before your incarceration, a younger you, if you can go grab by the back of your neck and say something to that person, what would you say? What would that conversation be like?
I would tell that great question. I would tell that person that you are a beautiful soul, you are a beautiful person, but I had no capacity to think. So I couldn't really talk to him because I wasn't listening. It's like I had ears, but they was closed.
Right.
So I couldn't really talk to that person that's there. But today I had wrapped that person up. You know, I put him away. So I would like to go into the past. I like to stay going forward. So if anything, I can say what I would have did, knowing that the knowledge I have today, I would have said that gun I got caught with. You know, I would have cocked it back and put a bullet in my head before the police grabbed me, knowing I was going to be facing 25 to life. Because going through my trials and tribulations in here and living this long inside of a closet is very harsh, barbaric, and inhumane. So I'm just being honest.
Wow. Thank you, man, for your honesty, man.
Thank you, my brother.
For real.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, next question, man. So back to your cell. You say your cell was small, right?
Yes.
So I would want to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that next. I want you to give right now. I want you to give me top 5 jail survival tactics.
Man, I'm gonna give you 5. Great question. First, 5 survival tactics in prison. First thing you want to do is always mind your business. 2, don't get addicted. If you came in here without a habit, you should be leaving out of here with a habit. Number 3, don't mess with no boys. You know, you got a girl, you ain't got no girl, look at a book. You know, don't do homo activity. Number 4, I would say respect others. Respect yourself. Clean yourself. Walk around dirty, but don't walk around too pretty, because somebody might try you. Number 5, educate yourself. These are all survival kits because you will keep yourself out the yard. You keep yourself busy, you know?
Sounds great. Sounds right to me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. This question, right? As far as because I think everything you have is pretty much in your cell, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, if you could only keep one thing that's in your cell right now, just one, everything else had to go. You can take one thing, and you got to go, which probably happens in there, right? Often, but what would it be?
It would be the photos of my family. It'll be my tablet. It'll be my photo album. But that's what mattered the most to every man in prison. His family, his girl, his loved ones, because he come to consciousness of who he left out there, because he had nobody in here. So my family and my photos of my family, which is my tablet, my JPay tablet, I would take that, my brother.
Okay. And I guess maybe we would do this as the last question before we give you opportunity. But just I guess your first day after sentencing, because I know it's different when you get arrested. Your first day after sentencing and going to that prison that you was going to be in. Is there? I guess the question would be, what were the feelings or what were the thoughts that was most prominent, if you can remember those?
Yes, great question. When a judge sentenced me to 25 to life on a robbery in the first crime back in the incarcerated because I didn't take the cop out. So I blew trial to 25 to life, but it was offering me 10 years flat. So I didn't take the bid. So when he sentenced me to 25 to life, I didn't really have no feelings. I went numb. But the first thing that went through my mind was like, I got to survive. And I got to get back down to court. Or I got to change this number. And that was my feelings, at that time.
Right.
That's the God's on.
That's strength right there, man. Because a lot of people just broke down and died, man. So you immediately was thinking progressively, and being optimistic. That's and preparing yourself for a fight on both levels and saying, listen, I'm coming back. So yeah, that's admirable, man. I guess right now I would want to take this opportunity to do two things, man. Allow you to give you a message, say what it is that you want to say. I want to turn this platform over to you, give you a couple minutes to just give a message to the public, and any shout outs, anybody you want to shout out, you want to acknowledge. Man. I'll give it to you, bro.
Thank you. The first shout I want to say is to the BONDSSIMMONS, the New Religion Network.
Salute.
I want to thank my family. I want to thank everybody that listened to the show, that watched the podcast, or listened to the podcast. I want to thank myself for having the strength to come on the podcast. And my message to everybody out there is to do everything with love, man. Don't abandon your family because they made a mistake and they're incarcerated. We people too. We made mistakes. I came in with hate. I'm going to bust out of here with love. All I ask you guys out there, give me a chance. To give your loved ones a chance to come back into your life. One thing I'm missing the most and it hurts me every day is that all you guys is moving on and we stuck right here. Guys use technology. I don't know anything about technology. So I need your help. I need your hand. I need your heart. I need your forgiveness. And I need your love the most. And I thank you all for being who you are. When I do something for somebody I don't know, it put a smile on my face. So just imagine everybody walking around and smiling on their face, how much better life would be. So there's 1,000 people hacking at the leaves of evil on the tree and one person hacking at the root. You have the unification amongst each other. You have to show love and capacity to one another. Compassion. So I sign off and say, I am Jamel X. If you want to get in contact with me, Mr. BONDSSIMMONS, go to jpay.com on my real name. Talk to Mr. Simmons.
Yeah, we're gonna post your information We encouraging people to correspond. We looking for pen pals. We looking for whatever. So I'm gonna have your information posted on here, your name, address, your numbers, so anybody can reach out. That's that's a huge part of this thing, man. I wanted you said something to me, man, that stuck with me about love, man. And I just want you to repeat that. You said love is. You remember what you told me love was?
Yeah. Love is an action word, my brother.
Bingo. Love is an action
Love
word.
is an action word. Do everything with love. Love is an action word. I can't tell somebody I love them if I ain't making no way towards them or doing anything to reciprocate that love, you know?
Yep.
You have to show love with action. You can't just be saying I love somebody and then you just sitting there. It ain't never gonna work like that. You know? Love is an action word.
That's
We
the
all
name
need
of
to
this
know that.
episode. Love is an action word, man.
That's right. Love is an action.
Nah, brother, I thank you.
Yes.
I thank you. Tell you, man, here for you, far as me personally, far as this network, you know what I mean, far as this platform. Appreciate it. Appreciate you sharing this insight, man. I think a lot of people's gonna learn and grow from this. Hopefully we can grow together and this community can grow and we can and you can get some of that love back and people can support back, man. People can write, tap in, send some pictures, correspond. And let's love is an action word. So let's show some love to our brothers. You know what I mean?
want to say one thing before we go.
Sure.
I just want to shout out Miss Maldonado. That's my therapist. That's helping me from the time I got in prison. So I just want to shout her out and say thank you. Your help has been warranted. You know what I mean? You ain't doing it just so it could be tossed to the side. You know, you're doing it and I'm incorporating it and embodying it. So thank you, Miss Maldonado, for your time. Thank you very much.
Oh wow, and that's cool. So you have, and that's somebody inside there that you work with. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she work with. That's my psychologist, the therapist. Because I seen it's like I went to the military. It's like it's PTSD now to all the war, trauma, riots.
Definitely.
So I got almost 20 years, so they send people to talk to us, you know, and try to help us. So when we get out, I got a couple more years before I get out. So they got to work us back into transition into the streets.
Right.
So she's been working with me, you know, and I appreciate it.
Wow. Well, shout out to her, man. What's her name again? You said Miss Maldonado?
Miss Maldonado.
Miss Maldonado, man. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. All right. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna have the information up there, man. I'm excited about dropping this, man. I'm gonna chop this and put this thing up immediately, man. You know what I'm saying? So what's today? Sunday? Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to have this joint up tomorrow, Monday.
How long would it stay up? Because I want to have some people.
Oh, it's gonna stay up forever, man. It ain't going. It's gonna be there forever.
So they can always go to like the New Religion Network and see it.
Forever. The New Religion Network. They can go on YouTube, the New Religion Network, or they can go on the newreligionnetwork.com.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So we got a YouTube page and we got the website. Yeah. So you know. And we on Instagram, all of that stuff too. So yeah, this ain't going nowhere, brother. This is etched in stone.
You like that, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be here forever, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got some brothers lined up too, some strong brothers too, just as strong as myself. They ready, man. I told them they gotta send a picture in first. So once you send a picture in first, then I get you on it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So yeah, let's set up. We can do another one for Sunday. So send some pictures this week, and we can set somebody up. We can set up one or two, man. We might can do 2 in a day.
All right. What we'll do is we'll tape it, and then they send it. You won't put it on there until they send their picture. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, man. You know.
Yeah, but I gotta prep them dudes because they want to get on there and be talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we ain't.
Yeah, let them know that the questions that I asked you is pretty much template questions, so they'll be the same questions that I asked them.
Same questions.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And yeah, man. So we had you know.
You have 1 minute left.
I love you, man.
Love you too, man. You already know, man. Appreciate it, man. Y'all see it.
I thank you, my brother. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. You know what I mean?
No doubt, man. Thank
That's
you, man.
real, man.
This was a beautiful interview, man. You gave some jewels, man.
Thank you, glad. Man. I need it, my brother.
Yes, sir, man. So hold your head, man, and you know, reach out, man. We here for you. We gonna keep in communication. You know that.
I love you, man. You take it easy, man.
Exactly. You too, man. Peace.
The caller has hung up.
All right. Okay, y'all. So, oh, what's that? That's crazy, man. So, you know, we got I was epic interview, man. I'm not even gonna do too much talking after that, man. But we're gonna be doing this regularly. There's gonna be at least one of these a week. This is the New Religion Network, TNR Network, Teach and Reveal, Truth and Reality. This was Teaching and Revealing. This is you know, and if anybody, you know, wants to write these brothers, send these brothers something, you know, monetary food, you can get food packages, pictures, just somebody to talk to. Like he said, man, these people is essentially, you know, kind of like buried alive, man. People's forgotten about these people. His brother's been in the penitentiary for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? He was just telling me before we started recording, like his brothers that been in there 20, 30 years and ain't got a piece of mail. You know what I mean? So let's show some love to these people, y'all. Let's if you have some time, if you have a couple extra cans of food, if you got a couple extra dollars, let's pitch in. Let's give back. Let's show love, man. I'm just teaching and revealing, and this is what we're doing. All right. So it's a New Religion Network. Phones ringing, distractions coming in. It's time to go. Thanks, y'all. Peace.
A prepaid collect call from an incarcerated individual at New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1. To refuse charges, press 2. If you would like to permanently block your number for thank you for using security. Start the conversation now.
Yeah. Free the guys, free the bros, free the men. We took a loss when they took you in that pen. I'm on call till they put you in the winning. Then we gon' ball, I'ma put us in the wins. Free the guys, free the bros, free the men.